Okay, now we're going to look at just kind of what we would do from here. So this tape is just providing some stability at this joint, but what you might find then is if you're taking knocks onto this finger, even though you've got the tape there to support, it can get quite painful on this joint. So we can do what's called a buddy strapping technique, and then that is where we basically are just taping two fingers together just to offer a bit more support. Now what you'll find is with this, when you kind of tape these two fingers together, it can be quite sore on that joint if it's kind of swollen and sore in there. So you can just kind of directly tape the two fingers together, and how we would do that is literally just going around the two joints, but just making sure we're not blocking the top of the joint. So I always start off with just kind of an anchor on that one finger, and then I'm coming across to the two. And from there, we can come across diagonally, but what you'll find is you might start blocking that joint. So all I would do is just cut that one off there, and then I'd look at just doing the same, just higher up. And all that is doing is just trying to keep both fingers together. We've kept both joints open so we can get a good amount of flexion in there, and it's just helping to protect that side of the joint more, because now any kind of impact, it's going to come through this finger and these joints rather than this joint. Again though, what you might find is that's quite sore just from a compressive element. So what I'm going to do is show you how we just try and offload that with just some padding to help protect it. So this is what we purchased from Physique, and it's called Swan Foam, and as you can see it's just quite spongy material, and it just offers a bit of padding support. So all we do is just kind of, we measure up and cut. I always kind of go no longer than the smaller finger, and it's just offering a bit of support. And again, it's not wider than the finger, so it's sticking out and getting caught and trapped and getting in the way of your judo. Now all you do is take the white backing off of these, pop that on your finger, so that should be sticking on nicely. And then all we can do there, the exact same now, is just taping across. So first of all, what I would do is again, create your anchor and then tape across like so. What you can do, so again, you would tape across the bottom and across the top like we showed in the other video. What you might find is you want a bit more kind of protection on that padding just to stop that coming off. So the other technique you can do with that is just create your anchors on the other finger. So then that way you're kind of going around the foam padding first. So I've just done a top and a bottom. So just to try and secure that padding onto your finger, and then I would just buddy those up from there and there. So you've got a bit more protection to this joint, and you've got the padding just to try and offload some of that pressure into there. So what you will find though with this is once you're buddied up with your Swan Foam padding in there, is it offers a bit more protection, but you lose a bit more flexion because that padding is just kind of stuck in between. So there's pros and cons. This one gives you a bit more padding to try and offset some of that pain just from the kind of the compression between the two joints, but you do lose a bit more flexion. So it's down to individual preference on, do you need to be able to create that kind of full flexion, or do you need to just offset some of that pain from the compression?